going to be making a few cards with you guys today. We're going to be doing a little coloring, and this is really going to be all about using sort of script stamps, hot foil. So I'm going to show you 3 different ones that I have and how I'm using them. So first, I'm also going to be using this small die of the month, which I absolutely love the whole collection. This one is a snail mail post, and it is a die set. We're going to be using that. And then the very first sort of script that I'm going to talk about is a script stamp. This one happens to be called Fine Line Script from Taylored Expressions, but any of these will kind of work for this sort of technique. So what I did with this, and I'll walk it through as I put this together, is I did a white emboss on this navy cardstock, and so I just stamped with my Versamark, and then I put white powder on top, and then I used my heat gun to melt it, and so you're left with this kind of fun. A co-worker, I'm actually mailing it a little care package. She's been very sick. So this is actually a leftover that I used for a tag that I had made, and I had some like leftover little grass, and all I did was just throw some white watercolor. This all came in that snail mail die, and so I've got these florals. Now, part of the gift this month with Spellbinders, if you bought the whole kit and caboodle, was that you got to get this like sample cardstock color wheel pack, and so I of colors. So I'm going to kind of put this there, and I've got my little, and so I did use some, you know, scrap that I've got from my own little scrap bin, but I also used that little color wheel cardstock, and I put everything on foam, and so stinking adorable. So I really fell in love with everything in this kit, and I've got quite a few things that would go with this, including a Stamp Market kit, which I actually, but kind of having it in mind when I was doing my projects, because I just have a lot of things I think would go with this sort of mail theme. Okay, so put this here. Okay, and then this is the sentiment. Now this is from, I'll be showing you later, but part of the Spellbinders kit and caboodle is the letterpress, which you also can foil. So I went ahead and hot foiled. A sentiment came with that, but I also am going to be using that for another project, so you'll see the whole thing. But this sentiment is perfect. It says, a friendly reminder that someone is thinking of you. So here is my card, and I love how that came out. Okay, so there's that. Next, we're going to be, oops, my Copic marker went flying, because I'll be using that in a second. Okay, so next we're going to use this one right here. So I used at this Happy Mother's Day and the die, and I used some embossing powder that I have from Taylored Expressions, and it's got some sparkle in it. And I'm also using, let me just pull this out because I'll be using another card. This is Flower Market from Taylored Expressions, as well as, this is going to all fall out, so let me grab this one right here. So this is from Erin Lee Creative, and it's a hot foil stamp, I guess it is. I don't know, but anyway, let's go ahead and everything is flying. Okay, the other thing that I've got, I'm going to actually get this out of the way so I don't fall everything, is this right here. So this is a like, it's called a floral bouquet wrap. It looks so simple, but it does something really kind of, in my opinion, fun, which is this right here. So these, so you can get an idea. I don't know if I have my white gel pen or not. But for this card, I used that Erin Lee Creative hot foil plate. And, you know, it gives it a very nice goldy look. And what I did was, after I stamped it, I think it goes this way, I used a scallop matte die to die cut it so I can get that scallop edge. And then I use that floral wrap, and I used that stamp set, which I'm going to color on camera with you for my next card. And I use that floral wrap. And this particular stamp and die was like kind of the perfect size, but I'm sure if you look through your collection, you'll find something like that. Now you can make your own little wrap. You can kind of design it yourself if you are a creative soul. I just happen to have this one, and so this is, I'm going to put right kind of here is what I'm going to do for this one. And so I thought this would be a very for my mom and my sister and my sister-in-law, maybe people from work if I have time. And I'm just gonna, okay, so there we go. All right, so now we're on to the last of my different script, and I'm actually using this brand new one. This is Spellbinders. It's the Post Edge Expression press plate, and I use quick coloring, which really I'm gonna actually G07, Y15, and Y13, and so I don't want to get ink all over this, so I'm actually going to be, I'm trying to think what I could use. I'm going to use this to kind of color on, because I'm going to do this very quickly. So let's see, what am I going to do here? This is going to be yellow. This one is going to be pink. Let's see. This one is going to be green, and this one's going to be yellow. So let's see, we're going to do the pinks. All right, so for the pinks, I'm going to start with my RV09. And what I'm going to do for my quick coloring is I'm just going to, let's see, is it that one that's darker, or is this one, I think? Oh yeah, this is a darker one. All right, so I'm starting with the RV09, and I'm just going to, this is going to be a very quick coloring, and so it just looks like kind of a hot mess right there, but then you just kind of color over it and kind of blend it, and it's just a really nice color combination that normally, just so you know, I like to color first and then I cut out. That's just the way I like to do it. And so I just think it's cleaner that way, but I didn't want to have to worry about coloring on camera. So this is just, I'm a lot neater when I color, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how you can do it. And you could go back and do a little bit more definition, which I'll show you. How I can go back a little bit and give it a little bit more color. I'm not too worried about. Okay, so then what I can do is I can go through and just kind of go through like this and then go over it with my lighter color and get some blending. So you can see that right there. Okay, so that's my pinks. Now I'm going to move on to my greens, and I'm going to start with my YG, and I just do my darker color and like this, and then I'm going to go through with my lighter color and just kind of pull that color around. And so this is just pretty easy with the two colors. Sometimes I'll pull in a third color because I kind of was doing it quick. Okay, and then I think this one is also green. So all I did was just do the bottom, and then I'm going to use the lighter color to kind of blend and pull the color. And so I just wanted enough contrast to kind of, I think I have one more pink flower too. But I'm going to do a different style of card than the wrap one. And I don't want the coloring to take forever, so I'm just kind of, that's why I'm doing it quickly. But normally, I'm telling you, I prefer to, I know some people like to, like on YouTube, like you watch the real artists do it. And, you know, what they will do is they will do it with the die cuts. They will have them die cut. I'm like I said, I prefer it the other way. Okay, I'm going to go back to the reds right here. And the reason that I like to do it not like this is I just think it's neater. I don't know, maybe I just do a neater job when it's all, you know, when I die cut afterwards. I'm a die cut afterwards person. I like to do all my coloring, especially like when I do my girl images and stuff. I will do my coloring, and then I'll go back. And then you could do white gel pen, which I don't know if I have a white gel pen with me. I'll probably do it afterwards, but on this card you can see the white gel pen. And that really just makes everything go crazy. So now we're going to go into Y15. And I do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of pull the dark color at the bottom like that, and then this. And the white gel pen will make everything magical, but I didn't bring it with me. It's at my other desk. But you'll get the idea. And so I'll go back after this dries and do white gel pen just for a little bit, but you can kind of get an idea with that other card how it will look. I just didn't want to get alcohol marker on everything, which is why I'm doing it on this. And okay, there. So you can get the idea of the coloring, and super easy. Okay, so now I've got my card. So what I did was I went ahead, instead of using letterpress, which that particular plate you can letterpress or foil, which I love, and a lot of companies are moving towards like not having the hot foil plates, but just having the letterpress plates, since you can do both. I mean, you definitely get more bang for your buck. I don't letterpress as much as I do the hot foil. Not that I hot foil a lot, but I don't know. I'm still working on my success in letterpress. Okay, so actually probably shouldn't have done that way, but that's okay. So now I'm going to kind of figure out where I'm going to put my images. And okay, so I'm going to, the bottom ones, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of glue down, and then I'm going to probably do a little bit of trimming. And do a little bit of trimming here. Okay, there's that one. And then we're going to do this one. And so this is just I'm just kind of building a garden using these same dies. And you know, I have all of these beautiful florals, and I just, you know, don't use them as much as I should because I have so many, and I really need to be more creative in how I use them. Okay, so now I have this one, which I thought maybe I would do a little bit of foam, I think. And I'm going to put a little bit of foam. And here. So I just am trying to do a better job at, like, when I get something, trying to not wait too long before using it. I have so many things that I haven't used. It's like I had to have it, and then I don't use it, and so it's just a bad habit, I think. And I'm going to do this one maybe right here. Do a little foam. And so it just is a bad habit, buying all this stuff and then, you know, not using it. Okay, and this one I'm just going to glue down. Okay, now I've got these two flowers, which I'm going to use foam for. And just a little bit here. Almost done, and then I'll show you the recap of what we did. Okay, and so I'm going to put this right here. So then I'll show you all the different looks, and you can see how it looks with the white gel pen. And white gel pen. And this I'm going to put right here. Okay, so here is this card right here. I love it. And then we have this card. And you can see all the different script ones that I used. And then here is this one right here. Aren't they fun? Thanks so much for watching. This is Cindy Crane with the Heart.